Your life, you're gonna own nothing. You own 3 things, okay? You own your fitness, you own your thoughts and emotions.
Everyone wants to be a cowboy. Grab your gun, boys.
We in stagecoaches. If anyone approaches, we like no buenos. Then I compose a poem for the mini gunslingers, R&B singers, perpetrating guns with fingers.
I don't like this hair tie, bro. What's going on, guys? It's Abdullah from the Glucosenetwork here, bringing you another fucking video, another day in Colorado. We're in Colorado and we're in Fort Collins, okay? Now, we did the first part of the Q&A yesterday, and I'm about to hit you with the second part right now. Alberto Nunez, you already know this cunt, so let's hit it. Fuck, I already lost the question. Say what's up to the camera.
There you go, Paulo.
Say what's up.
Oh, there he goes.
Hey. Best way to incorporate strength work into hypertrophy routine. Best way to target your weak muscle groups in your split. AKA, that's 2 fucking questions in one.
That is, what a cheater.
Hit it up, bro. They don't want to hear it from me. They don't hear it from me.
It was real, though, so it's fine.
Okay.
We will excuse
no, it's
you.
not. It's Chris Byrne, dude.
Oh,
it's a
okay.
fucking...
Oh, sorry, Chris. First of all, I think strength is just going to be a very, very important component of getting more...
muscular.
Jackness, muscular.
Stronger muscles, bigger muscle, man.
Yeah, exactly. So you
Not really, though. Because you can be strong and not have the big muscle.
You can, but you're...
But there's more potential to get big.
But it's relative to the strong, like, jack dudes, like Jeff Alberts. I think he's pulled 500 pounds on the deadlift one time, but he's progressing. You know, it might not be super fast compared to 10 years ago, but he's still progressing here and there. So you need to make progress when it comes to, you know, just when it comes to your ability to just move heavier and heavier loads, and that in itself is going to obviously affect the amount of volume you can work.
Like, there's only so many variables you can play with to increase your muscle growth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you can't talk about time under tension, volume, frequency.
Yeah.
But it's like, and if you're not getting stronger, you're taking out the biggest chunk.
That's the biggest
biggest component to getting fucking bigger. It's not like you have to program your whole training to be like strength training. No. But you need to have some sort of progressive overload of weight over time.
And it doesn't have to be a 1 repper. It doesn't have to be a 3 repper. Like, for example, like my favorite rep range is 7s. I love 7s. Easy on the joints, and then also pretty easy to work with in regards to programming. So you're going to have to get stronger. That's just a must. It's going to affect your volume, your time under 10, all those other things that you're probably maybe overemphasizing. Progress. That's the main thing.
Best way to target weak muscle groups in your split.
Make him a priority.
After a certain period of training, you can't fucking be like, you know what, I want my back to get bigger, but I want my chest to get bigger. So you can't just, you know, you don't have all the fucking volume in the world to play with.
You're running on limited resources, obviously. There's only so much you can recover from. When I ran track and field, I was just amazingly slow off the blocks. So I spent extra amount of time just coming off the blocks, because the speed part, once I got going, was fine, but I lost so much time off that, so that was just my main focus. When it comes to any sport, we kind of break it down like that. If you're a power lifter, you're a horrible bench presser, you'll probably spend extra time emphasizing that. Here's the funny part, though. A lot of those body parts that perhaps don't grow as rapidly as you would like, you know, the ones that grow very rapidly, the ones that just grow for no reason, that are kind of getting ahead of the rest of your physique,
they probably fucking improve.
They improve most of the time, almost.
Bro, my biceps would get bigger if my chin-ups went, like my pull-ups go up, my back doesn't get bigger, dude. My biceps get bigger. Everything I do is just triceps. Like, I don't need to train triceps or biceps, but I still do. I'm a dumb cunt. I hate this fucking phone, bro, honestly. It's the stupidest fucking... Look at this shit.
The essays.
What do you guys think about training every day versus every other day? I would just completely say it's about total weekly volume. It's like simple. Like, you squat every day. Obviously, the volume's going to be lower than if you squat fucking twice a week. And sometimes that gets in your head like, no, I should be doing more, I should be doing more. And then you find yourself doing like 5 by fucking 10s every day of the week, and you just be a shit cunt.
For instance, in my case, I know about how much volume I need across the board for a whole mesocycle. And I will just kind of break that up in a way that's most practical for, I guess, my real world.
I would say, Alberto, doing skilled lifts every other day, you might get more improvement hitting them every day.
That is the issue. Olympic lifts, for example.
Okay, Olympic lifts. That's the big one. If you're Olympic lifting, like, yeah, there'll be, if you go from training your Olympic lifts 3 times a week to fucking 6 times a week, even if the weights... Even just the fucking bar, bro, you're gonna get better.
Manage your volume, but here's the one thing.
Okay, hit him. Hit him with it.
I quite often when I hear a question like that, can I train every single day? Usually these folks tend to perhaps do a bit too much, right? right? When you
Yeah, I know. Everyone has that period of life where they think they're Jay Cutler.
They can rush it, right?
2 years, bro. You're gonna be in the shower. You can't even get an erection. You don't want to train no more.
So yeah. Here's the thing. Do you really think that's the best thing for you? Is there perhaps a better way to
I always like to leave the gym now with a bit more juice.
Yeah.
There's a difference between knowing and doing, and that can be a good thing or a bad thing. You can like run up the mountain and be like, I know I can go harder, but that mindset can be like, can lead you to the point where you never go hard. But also in the gym, it can be the reverse. Like sometimes it's good to know that you can do more, but you don't have to do it to know you can do it. You know what I mean?
So in short, I'm like wondering if this question is from someone whose priority number one is to progress. You know, are you asking this because priority number one is progressing, or is it
progressions? For most people, the amount you need to progress is probably like you take the amount you think you need to progress, and take a fucking quarter off that, and you'll be fine.
Co-signed.
I probably do the same amount of volume as you, but you've been training for almost a minimum double as long as I've been training.
1999 is the first day.
Exactly, bro. I was 6. I was like 5 years old when Alberto was training. Here I am sometimes doing the exact same amount of reps and work and shit. Oh, you slide me this fucking thing. So I'm a bit of a dumb cunt. Hit me with it. Don't you? I know the basics of tracking macros and how nutrition works. Do you still recommend a coach for extended cutting phase?
Depends on the person and what's your problem. If your main issue is adherence,
then yeah.
That can potentially help. It's a luxury, first of all, to have someone overlook your stuff. It's not a necessity. However, I would recommend that. I think pretty much everyone at some point get tutored and mentored by someone.
Yeah, I've probably had like 2 or 3. I'm Alberto's mentor.
But I had
keep him in check.
During my contest prep, I had Ben Escrow do a lot of my programming for some big powerlifting meets I had while I was prepping for bodybuilding shows, and it took first of all, I did a few things. It made me a lot more objective in an area where I tend to goof up more, which is my training. And then last but not least, I think it also, as a coach, it kind of put me on the other side.
You start justifying all sorts of shit in your head. I need to have another refeed day today. I need to have another refeed tomorrow. I came too quick when I was jacking off. I need to have another refeed. Oh my god, my training sucked. Well, yeah, cunt, it's gonna suck if you're fucking lean, you dumb fuck. Sometimes you can go too hard, but then you need someone to be like, hey dude, chill out. It's not about being Jay Cutler and doing, 10-plate hack squats in Gold's Gym, Venice, Mecca, whatever, with that cunt in the car park in the van.
It's like going too hard, and then also like the guy that wanted to train 7 days a week, it's like you don't have to train twice a week, you don't have to train 7 days a week. There's an in-between, like this middle ground that people tend to forget, and I think that's what a formal
Some guys just like to feel beat down, but I'm like, dude, like I'm kind of like this, and I've always like this, but it's like you have to think about like what are you getting out of beat down, because 90% of the time you don't have to feel beat down to make the progress you want to fucking make. It's like, bro, you're not some fucking cloak of 20-year-old who's trying to peak his weightlifting career in like a year on hella drugs, training twice a day, living at a training camp. You just want to have fucking nice arms and a six-pack. So it's like, you don't have to fucking do that, bro. Hey, why is it important to become numb when you work out, Berto? Tell me why.
Numb?
Numb as in like...
That's
numb.
Aussie slang?
No. Numb as in like, I punch you in the face, you feel nothing.
Never.
Like I'm numb.
Maybe mental toughness, I think, is what.
That's what he's trying to say, but I'm just trying to explain numbness to you. Like when you have pins and needles, your hands go numb. Like I could punch you in there, and you would feel nothing.
Numbness is like knowing when to push hard and then also when to back off. I think, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the most uncomfortable, painful thing is to do the thing that
you don't want to do.
It's
easy to crush it.
It's
easy to crush.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you with the fucking truth one, bro. Numb can work either way. Numb is just executing the plan. Numb is just to me, numb is removing all form of emotional attachment to your training.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Right there, cunt. Right there. So sometimes
that is deep, dude.
Right
in Colorado, and you're saying thoughts like that.
It's all the dope in the air. It's all the dope in the air. But sometimes you want to crush harder because your ego is like, I need to crush it. I need to crush it. My ego wants to crush it, bro.
Sometimes
but it's like that's not the best.
To do, yeah.
That's the easy way to do it. You know what I mean? That's the easy way to do it. So becoming numb to me is just like, okay, emotionally detach yourself from the training, and just like sometimes you just got to refer back to paper. Like, what do I actually need to do to get better?
What's the fundamental
same thing? Like sometimes, and it can go the other way. But I would say with the hard training is just like, just get over it, dude. It's I always say you have to live in the moment when you train, because at the time, when you're having a bad training session, it feels like, oh my god, this training session's over. Just take it step by step, rep by rep, moment by moment, thought by thought, and eventually everything passes. And you just got to remember, when you finish that workout, you'll think, fuck, that workout went pretty quick. Like, dude, that was only an hour of my life that kind of sucked for a little bit. You know what I mean?
And again, like, refer back to, there's a difference between exercising and working out and training. I think training is probably number one.
Bro, exercising's fun as fuck. Go in there, act like Jay Cutler, hit the preacher curl machine, get a pump. Training is hard.
Training
but
is hard.
The best thing is to know is, training's meant to be hard.
It's meant to be hard.
Like, it's not always meant to feel good.
It's for the bottom line. It's not to feel tired.
It's not to feel tired, it's to improve.
Sometimes it happens,
but sometimes you have to feel tired to improve. But once you realize that, you just detach your emotions from training. That's how you become numb. Being able to shut off your mind, and that's just almost another. That's like just a skill. Being able to turn off your thoughts and emotions. Shit, that's just a skill. Being able to block out thoughts and shit. That's a skill you will get from just training over the long term, or like pushing yourself consistently over time. Doesn't mean you have to crush every workout, but pushing yourself consistently over time, learning how to deal with pain as it comes to you, and just like keep going is something you'll fucking get over time if you keep fucking working out, not being a fat fucking shit cunt playing PS3 on the couch. Water polo, fixie biking, Olympic weightlifting, and sex are my main forms of exercise. Full fucking stop, okay? I find it hard to balance them all so that I'm not total shit in all of them. Any suggestions? Also, what to take on alcohol? I have 1 to 2 beers at night to relax after 10 to 12 hours of work, days of work, whatever. 10 to 12 hours days of work, he does all this. I'm going to kill that first question so you can answer the alcohol question.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
We already talked about it. You have to prioritize your training, okay? So if it's water polo season, you can't be fucking riding your bike and weightlifting more than water poloing. It's all about specificity, okay? And at the same time, it's even in off-season, it kind of has to be specific, especially if you're juggling, like, the more things you juggle, the harder it's going to fucking be to be good at any of them. You know what I mean? Like, 2 things is fucking heaps hard enough. Yeah. Especially if they're contradictory in energy systems. Anaerobic, aerobic. Unless you're on fuckloads of drugs, it's going to be hard. Okay? It's going to be fucking hard. More so if you come from an aerobic background trying to be anaerobic, you're going to be fucked. Yep. That's going to be way harder. But if you're like a weightlifter trying to like run a decent 5K, like it's not going to be that hard. You will never be that good at it, but you'll be pretty good at it. But you know what I mean? Not as good as if you could do it one thing at one time. So 3 things is hard to juggle, but you just need to be specific. You need to prioritize your training. Block your training throughout the year to peak differently for different shit. I would say, number 1, you don't need beers to relax. You just need to relax, okay? But if you like drinking beer, you like drinking beer. It is what it is. Girl's gonna slut, girl's gonna slut. So if you're gonna be a slut, be the best slut you can be, okay? So what's your take on alcohol? Hit him with it.
So here's the thing with alcohol or alcoholism. It's not necessarily dose dependent. If you are drinking, say, 1 beer every day and that's what you need to get by, there's a dependency there. So
I would say it's unhealthy just to drink beer to feel a certain way.
Just to feel a certain way, or if you're doing it routinely. Even if it's 1 glass of wine a night, you're dependent on that.
Yeah. So just don't be dependent. Like I don't recommend drinking alcohol, but just don't be dependent. If you like, some cunts like. I used to go out and cunts be like, I have a fucking beer, bro. And I'm like, dude, I don't actually like the taste of fucking beer. So why am I gonna sit here like a dumb cunt and drink beer just to impress you? Like I'd rather drink fucking Coke.
So I think here's a big misconception that I think a lot of folks think I drink like almost that frequently.
Yeah.
It's July now, 2015. I think this year I have had a total of maybe in a calendar, maybe 20 days to 25 days where I've had a beer.
Soda.
About that. What is that? It's not much.
For the average regular human being, that's fuck all.
So here's the thing: is I think you can definitely like have a beer here and there, but I always keep like my main goals at the forefront, and alcohol just doesn't necessarily help that. However, if the question is about calories, just kind of count that in and just basically don't sacrifice protein for the sake of beer. That's probably the best thing you can do. But I think honestly probably drinking every day is maybe not the best thing.
Fuck no.
I would say maybe cut it down to maybe a weekend here, skip a weekend. I think I
would say you have to be drinking beer. Like, I don't recommend drinking beer, but it's like anything else. I'm like, just drink beer for the right reasons of drinking beer. Even though there's no really right reasons to drink beer. But don't be one of these cunts that get home and they're sad. They think beer's going to cure their problems.
So today's the 5th, August 5th. The last time I drank prior to today was the day after the mayhem back in California. How long has that been?
Yeah. I don't know, a long time.
That's been about 3 weeks.
It's almost like buying a fancy car. Like, don't buy a fancy car to improve your life quality because you think the fancy car. Buy the fancy car because you actually enjoy the quality of the car, the build of the car, the make of the engine. Appreciate the fucking car because that shit's not going to improve your life. If you like the taste of fucking beer, like I like the taste of like lots of shit, and regardless of some of the shit, like I'm a fucking human being. Some of the shit's not good for you, so I'm gonna fucking eat it anyway. You just gotta be smart about how you eat it.
You saw my first drink of beer today. Like when I had that, I wasn't even a little bit buzzed, but I was
so happy.
Beer.
It was weird.
It was the first.
It was
drink.
fucking weird. It was so happy.
But I do it because I love it. But at the same time, I also kind of monitor. It's kind of like my hiking. I'd say I dose it like my hiking. I love to hike, but what's
It
my
takes
main
away from
goal?
your training.
It takes away from my training.
See, that's a good skill to have. I don't have that skill. Like sometimes I just get too caught up.
If you dose it properly, you have a little variation in your life. It actually makes me better at the main thing I want to get good at.
Yeah, it keeps you hungry. It keeps you fire-ish.
Keeps you hungry.
Keeps the fire.
And
plus, it's nice to get out and move your body, breathe the fresh air, and you don't want to be shit.
Last thing, diversify your happiness portfolio. So the person training 7 days a week, if that's the one thing that's like making you happy, the person that has to drink a beer every single day, they just feel okay.
It's the same thing.
You need to have multiple things going on in your life.
So I do to train 4 hours a day, and they're like alcoholics before. It's like you're just training addictions.
Yeah, it's
you got to work your problems out and shit. Okay, don't try and the gym does like don't try and go lay your problems down on the preacher kill machine. What did the preacher kill machine ever do to you, cunt?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Exactly nothing.
It's only made dreams come true.
So what? You think it can handle all your problems? One day that preacher McCall's going to snap. And you're going to be left with nothing. Subscribe, share with your mum, share with your sister, share with your boyfriend, share with your spouse, we support Game Manager. I hope you do. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Shout out to my boy H. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Bootcamp Project, Cirrus, Jest, Tommy Evans, Bootcamp Anthem, waging war on the pretenders, I'll stop you in your tracks if you start with me. We're at so fat they clog your arteries. I'm so inventive with my artistry. I break ground like earthquakes and part the seas. Be a smart seas.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.